Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys, ladies and gents? Probably mostly dudes here, but but what's up? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moistmaster Flex. Oh well, well, well. I guess we do have a lady in here. I thought it was just gonna be mostly a cockfest, but I guess not. um, yeah, welcome back to our live stream here. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good Monday, good start to your week. My weekend is pretty dope. What did I do mostly? Mostly just worked on music on Friday. Didn't really go out. And then Saturday went to Medieval Times. And then yesterday barbecue with my family. And then today was just work. A typical Monday. Just gonna be creeping for a second. All right. Let's dive into our tunes here. We got Menace on Bite This. Speaking of Bite This, actually, we have me and Rhiannon have another track coming out on Bite. This time on Bite This in November. We just got the artwork yesterday, or this morning actually. But yeah, it looks pretty dope. Definitely stoked on that. Synchronicities Volume 1. That is out now. You got Touch on Garrett Shared. We got Poison, which is a free download on Garrett Shared as well. We got Roland with the Man's Choli on Yosh. We got Fade from Tones on Thick Freakness. We got The Rhythm with the Man's Broshi. That just came out this past Friday. And then this one's brand new, actually. This is going to be out tomorrow for free download. Smooth Operator. Anybody who loves Sade will most definitely love this tune. But that'll be out for a free download tomorrow, so just keep an eye on my socials. There's all my socials there. If you guys aren't already following. And then our shows. I'm going to be in Phoenix this coming Saturday. Be playing with Luxo and Not Yours at La Girls in Phoenix on Saturday. And then we have our Halloween party. Halloween's on a Friday this month, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're doing it in downtown LA. Brand new venue. Definitely looking forward to this one. And then actually, unfortunately, this festival is actually going to get canceled. Unfortunately, I guess they didn't make enough. They didn't get enough tickets sold. So I mean, it is what it is. But I got these two pretty dope shows coming up. What else do I got coming up? I'm gonna be in Amsterdam next week for ADE. If anybody's there, I'll definitely be in Amsterdam. Um, Going to the conference and going to shows at night. It's gonna be a good time. If anyone's there, just hit me up. And then as far as more, do I have more shows coming up? I guess we have something coming up. Actually, I have two shows coming up in November, but can't announce those yet. And then we have MPH in December. Me and Rhiannon are going up to Seattle in December on the 6th to open up for MPH. So definitely stoked on that one. Yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up. Then we got our sponsor here, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs for shows, definitely cop some there. Eargasm.com. Use the code Phantom10. Yeah, man, I love Seattle. Seattle's always a good time. Are you talking about me and Choli or me and Rhiannon? Because I have a collaboration with both of them. Well, I guess honestly it's the same because I don't think neither me and Henry nor me or Rhiannon and I've actually sat in the same room and collaborated together. Usually I mean, with Choli, I just sent him like a basic instrumental idea, and then he just kind of just like added his like his sound design and kind of craziness, and then just sent it back to me. He had a vocal in there too, which basically was like the crux of how the idea got finished, and then I kind of just like wrapped up the very end of the tail end of the track. Um, but yeah, that was a pretty easy, quick back and forth. And then with me and Rhiannon, it's always like super easy. I have an instrumental for her. She kind of sits on it and then she listens to it a couple times through. She's usually pretty quick about getting me vocals back too. Like usually within a week or two, she'll probably send me something. And then it's just off to the races. Usually with me, like if I have a strong vocal hook, it makes the writing process 1,000 times easier and quicker. And then Rihanna's just a really fucking great lyricist and songwriter, so it just makes my job 1,000 times easier. Um, yeah, there's other people that I've collaborated with. That's it's just different processes. Like, um, only because I have VIP status. um, yeah, like with other people, like with the homie Spacewalk, a lot of times we'll actually sit down together. I think we work better that way. Me and him just kind of just like really feed off of each other's creative energy. Same thing with Broshi. It's just like bing bang boom. We're just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the same space. Um, yeah, I mean it's just different ways to skin a cat, but it all kind of works towards the same goal. Yeah. Yeah, just keep elevating for sure. All right, let's get started. Enough yapping from me. For those of you guys have been here before, you guys know the deal. I take these tracks as first come first serve on our Google form. If you haven't yet, go ahead and submit your tracks there right now. This is our queue. If for any reason you want to skip the line, you guys are more than welcome to. You can use your channel points or send money to the bottom left there. Um, so things come to me quickly and easily, and other times it's like I'm writing a final exam. That's funny. Um, yeah, if you guys want to guys want to skip the line, you can use channel points or send money to the bottom left over there. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Entirely up to you. I don't want you to, you don't have to send like $1,000 or $100. Just like $5 is fine. I don't want you guys to break the bank. That's entirely up to you. All right, let me read off the queue here. You have to be present in the chat in order for your track to get reviewed, so make sure to stick around. $1 million. We got Mondo first. We got Missed Call second. We got the man's JJ up third. We got Chris Michael fourth. Degen fifth. Misguided sixth. Spencer Arnold seventh. And the man's Choli last year, number 8. Let me see if I got any other submissions. Okay, no other submissions right now, so we're at 8 right now. I don't think anybody skipped the line, so we are going with Mondo first. I see Mondo in the chat, so yeah, let's do it. Let's dive into this tune here.
I came from the cracks, where the light never reached, where the walls have mouths, and the floors would preach, where the floors would preach. Preach. through mirrors with a shattered face. Time stitched in this haunted place. Echoes crawl where the silence grows, and the floors speak. They preach it all. Preach. Where the walls have mouths and the floors preach. Preach. Whispers in the smoke, everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. 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 Where the walls have mouths and the floors would preach. Preach. Where the floors would preach. I came from the cracks where the light never reached. Preach. Where the floors would preach.
Nice. Yeah, super dark, very kind of like gritty. I really like the sound selection and the sound design here. Um, Feels like it should be played at like an after hours or something. You know, kind of dark and dank warehouse. It's got that kind of vibe to it. Indeedeth takes Juan to know Juan. Yeah, really nice sound selection. I'm digging the bass line. It's very like it's very gritty, very dark. Yeah. The vocal is super cool. I really dig the vocal. However, it is a bit loud and dry in the mix. It is also a little bit difficult to understand at parts. It almost sounds like it's kind of ducking when it's not supposed to be ducking, which leads me to believe that there's some sort of like side chain or gate on it potentially. So that's just something to keep mindful of. I don't think the vocal should be ducking like that. It also makes it a little bit difficult to understand when it's ducking like that. Um, so yeah, I think maybe just bring it down a smidge in the mix, maybe about 2 dB. Add on some reverb, and then try to get rid of whatever is ducking it, so it doesn't like hide underneath the rest of the mix. Um, I really like the ear candy stuff you got going on. You know, you hear like a blade, you hear like little like rave synths coming out. Um, Those are really dope. I really like that. I would have liked a little bit of a stronger lead. For the most part, it's like your bass line is like your main kind of lead here, which isn't the bad thing. I think it's always good to have multiple hooks. You know, your main bass line groove is going to be a hook. Obviously, the vocal is going to be a hook. And if you have a lead, it can be another hook. So hooks on hooks on hooks on hooks. Just, you know, kind of becomes like an earworm to the listener, you know? So yeah, I think it needs a stronger lead. Obviously the bassline's the main lead, but it feels like it needs some more support on the top end. I really like the clap here. I think the clap works very nicely with the kick in tandem. Really nice choice on the hats as well. I think the rides are playing a little bit too much. They almost start to get a little bit overused. So yeah, I think especially I wouldn't use rides in the intro. I would definitely use them in more high energy kind of spots. So like maybe like at the latter end of your drop sections, or even at the start of like that last drop there. I think the arrangement's super solid. Really nice tension in the builds. I like that there's multiple drops here. But I think something different needs to be happening on that last drop to kind of differentiate it, kind of build up that momentum and that energy, and then kind of just pay it off on that last drop. So I think something a little bit different needs to be going on in that last drop to kind of, you know, keep that energy moving forward. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a really fucking dope vibe. It's really dark, really moody. I like the vocal. Just like some minor tweaks, I think, especially in the mix down. But overall, it's a really solid idea. It's definitely worth finishing. Good job, Mondo. Hell yeah, brother. All right. Let's keep it moving forward here. We got Missed Call. Missed Call. Actually, that's a good idea. Add a lead and then kind of tease it in your builds and your break sections. Kind of give it, you know, a little bit more of that sauce. Do we have Missed Call? Missed Call going once. Missed Call going twice. All right, no Missed Call. Do we have Young Dare 80, Young JJ in the chat? I think this is something that he was just working on this week. Dang, he missed his call. Haha. Young JJ. Is JJ here? Dare 80, JJ. I don't see him on the chat lineup. Okay. No JJ, unfortunately. If he shows up, we'll dive into his tune. We got Chris Michael. Chris Michael in the chat. I just saw Chris Michael a minute ago. Chris Michael. And then after that, Degen. And then after that, Misguided. After that, Spencer Arnold. And after that, Choli. Chris Michael. There we are. There he is. All right, let's do it.
Get up. like,
Oh my god!
like, I love it. Wake it up. Like, I love it. Like,
God!
oh. Wake it up. Like, wake it up. Oh. Like, I love it. Like,
Oh my god!
love it. Wake it up.
My god!
Like, I love it. Like,
God!
I love it.
Nice one, bruv. Yeah, super dope sound design. I think the sound design is like my favorite part here. Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on here. I dig a lot of the stuff in the intro and the break sections. The arpeggio is really cool. It's kind of happy-go-lucky, kind of like bouncy. I'm really digging the chord stabs you got going on here. It's a very simple like chord progression, but it's very effective. I think it's a really good chord progression. The vocal feels a bit loud here. Again, I think it's just a matter of just kind of bringing it down in the mix a smidge. Maybe also add on some reverb, just like Mondo. Really nice kick. The kick is very thick, and it's perfect for drum and bass. Very loud, very powerful, very thumpy. Love the energy in the build. It definitely kind of builds up that tension, and then you get the payoff at the drop. Very solid kick snare combo. It's exactly what you want for drum and bass. I really do like the sound design. The sound design is super cool, but in my opinion, I feel like the drop doesn't really pay off what you set up in the intro. So, like I said, that chord progression is really fucking cool. It's a really nice chord progression, but it doesn't feel like it pays off in the drop. If you get what I mean, if you get what I'm laying down here.
wake it up. Wake it up. Oh. Like,
Yeah, I think in some way that melodic idea should make some sort of appearance in your drop section. It doesn't have to be entirely like, you don't have to basically just, beat the listener over the head with the same chord progression. But I think you can kind of just do like a kind of like a broken thing where you're even just playing like a chord at the downbeat. Yeah, I feel like that is a really nice chord progression and melodic idea, and it should basically be almost like the common thread throughout the entire idea. And having it make like an appearance, I think, is a good way to pay it off in the drop sections. But again, I really like the sound design here, so I think, Yeah, I think making the stabs follow like and then some of the sound design too. I think if you kind of play similar notes within that same chord progression for those for a lot of those mid bass sounds, that also might be a move. That's something you could definitely try out. I think it's a really cool idea though. Yeah, sound design is fucking fire though. Really cool ear candy overall, and very solid arrangement. I honestly didn't see anything wrong with the arrangements. How you have it laid out here. Really, I my only piece of feedback is like I would have liked that chord progression to kind of pay off in the drop sections, in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be lovely. All right. Good job, Chris Michael. Super dope tune there. Feedback. Boo boo. Okay. Up next we got Degen. Degen, Misguided, Spencer Arnold, and Choli. Yeah, no problem, man. Happy to help. Do we got Degen? Degen going once. Degen going twice. All right, no Degen. Back of the line. All right, we got Misguided. I guess that's what it's supposed to say. I don't know. I understand why he would bleep that out though. That's kind of weird. All right. Yeah, I'm still humming the art melody. All right. Let's go with Misguided here. Let's do it.
hands to yourself. No, you don't wanna be friends. Just watch me dancing in red. Focus, 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 focus. Keep your hands to yourself. No, you don't wanna be friends. But can you focus? Can you focus, 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 focus? Can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Can you focus? Can you focus, 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 focus? Can you focus on me? Can you focus on me? Can you focus? Can you focus, 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 focus?
Nice. Yeah, this is like very unique. It almost feels like it verges on being a bit more commercial and like poppy in a way. It doesn't feel like a very traditional kind of like dance tune, but it has a lot of like dance elements in it. Um, Even kind of nearing or verging into like a little bit of like trip hop. I don't know. It doesn't have enough hip hop elements to kind of give it that genre title. But I only said that because like this really tail end, this outro, the track starts to get a little bit more trip hoppy, but the actual like kind of meat of the song is more like four on the floor. It's a very interesting track though. I really dig it. Really unique. Really cool sound design. I love all the melodic ideas and choices that you made. The sounds that you picked all work really well together. That's probably also why I mentioned trip hop, because they tend to use a lot of these type of really cool sort of synths and organs and that kind of stuff. I wasn't expecting a 4x4, four on the floor kind of beat, but it works. It works really well here. I like the melodic ideas. Really nice drums. The drums are very nice. They're very crispy, very clean. Mixed very well here. Really nice vocal. Yeah, it's very clear, really easy to understand. I think that's also why I kind of felt like it was a little bit more poppy and commercial. Very simple, straightforward type of vocal. It kind of has that kind of texture to the vocal tonality. Really loving the rave stabs. I think the rave stabs are probably like my favorite part of this track here. I think they work really well too, as like kind of like an intermediary between sections. What else do I have? Honestly, it's difficult to kind of pinpoint this because it's not, like I said, it's not like traditional dance music. It's definitely unique. It's kind of like its own thing, which is also the reason why I really like it. I think it's very interesting. It's not something that I would typically hear, like say in a club or something, or what have you. I think it's a really well executed idea. It almost sounds like it could be in a movie or something. In a movie of like a sci-fi movie, or even like a probably like a sci-fi movie, or like a cult film, something like that. The reality is, like, I don't hear anything necessarily that I would go through porn. Oh my god. I don't necessarily hear anything crazy that I would change in this track. I think everything is really well executed. I mean, maybe the only thing is just go back and make sure you got your mix down, sorted out. I don't, there's not really anything that really like jumped out at me. So I think the reality is, like, I think you just did a good job. If you want to get like really down into the, down and dirty with it, maybe just do like another mix down session to make sure everything's kind of just like in, everything's kind of just like leveled out, my ears heard a bit of key clashing, dissonance in some areas. I could be wrong if no one else heard it. Bro, submit to Pornhub. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely go back and give it like a strong mix down session. Give it a nice listen through, and see if anything kind of pops out at you as dissonant or, you know, dynamically. If something kind of just pops out at you, just just go back in and clean it up. But yeah, overall, I think it's just a really well done idea. Very well executed. Hell yeah, Misguided. All right. We got Spencer Arnold, we got Choli, and then we got Tyrannosaurus Flex. We got the man Spencer Arnold in the chat. Young Spencer Arnold is here. All right, let's give this one a listen.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Superfly, supernova, wanna do it how we do. Move aside, let me show you. Superfly, supernova, wanna do it how we do. Move aside, let me show you. Fly supernova every single day. I'll be rolling little chicken noodle soup on the side with the soda whip a Cadillac coupe. Superfly supernova, wanna do it how we do. Move aside, let me show you. Superfly supernova. Let me show you. Superfly, supernova, wanna do it how we do. Move aside, let me show you. Move aside, let me show you. Superfly, supernova. Every single day, I'll be rolling little chicken noodle soup on the side with the soda whip a Cadillac coupe. Superfly, supernova, wanna do it how we do. Let me show you. Superfly, supernova, superfly, supernova, supernova. Ask anybody on the block, I bet they heard of me. If they tell you different, I'll call that committing perjury. Pull up on my ops, call the doctor, practice surgery. Better call the cops, cause I don't stop unless they murder me.
It's slowing down, ride or die, no ocean blue. I'm out and high, can keep you safe, don't try to hide, cause what I see, no, I'ma find.
Come out, it's time to play. I'm loaded up, I'm on the way, I'm at your door. I'm here to stay, make sure the Lord can hear you pray. Every single day, I'll be rolling little chicken noodle soup on the side with the soda whip a Cadillac coupe. Superfly, supernova, wanna do it how we do. Move aside, let me show you. Superfly, supernova. Move aside, let me show you. Move aside, let me show you. Move aside, let me show you. Superfly, supernova.
Nice. Yeah, this one's a vibe, man. Almost immediately when I heard the kick, I was like, yeah, this is a Spencer Arnold tune. You can tell almost immediately with those drums. Definitely very signature sort of sound to those drums. The chat says dope vocal on this one. Synth work also very nice. I agree. I agree. I concur. I be making some thick ones, indeed, indubitably. Really cool vocal. Maybe it could use a little bit more processing. Although when I was listening to it more, once it starts getting into like the nitty gritty of it, like in the drops, you start to hear some additional layers and stuff. So maybe I might take that back. I might just add a little bit of reverb to it. That's about it. I think the vocal actually sounds pretty good. I think it's in a pretty good spot too, especially dynamically. It's just loud enough to kind of pop through the mix and be like front and center, which is what you want for this kind of style of tune. Overall, really love the drop. Really nice call response. Really digging the sound design. Really good use of the vocal too. Like the vocal, you use like these longer phrases, and then you kind of just like you'd like to lay out some of the vocal or just like little stutters and stuff. I think it's really well done. It's a really easy way to get yourself some nice ear candy stuff going on, some nice variations. One thing I was gonna note there, and this may be just like a note you should probably use for most of your transitional areas, is just that we need some more transition effects, just to kind of signal when things are changing up. It'll kind of just basically like kind of handhold the listener a little bit more, but it'll make things a lot more seamless, I think. Just some minor transitional stuff. You know, you can go the classic route, crashes, reverse crashes, white noise sweeps, that kind of stuff. I think that'll work really well. Really nice 808s. The 808s were a nice addition to that break section. I did notice that on this second build, the vocal starts to kind of fall off the time. And I'm thinking primarily it's because of that vocal delivery. Obviously, this is I think you had somebody record these vocals, but in this section in the build, it kind of feels like the vocal falls a little bit off timing, and really that's primarily just a warping thing. You can definitely just kind of scooch the vocal ever so slightly. I would just kind of just loop that section with a metronome, beep boop 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 beep boop boop boop, and just make sure that the vocal is kind of just like sitting in the pocket really nicely. Beep boop 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 beep boop boop boop.
Cause I don't stop unless they murder me.
It's going down, ride or die, no ocean blue. A mountain high can keep you safe. I'm trying to hide, cause what I see, no harm.
Especially right there, it feels like the vocal's kind of dragging behind time. So yeah, I think it just needs to be kind of adjusted ever so slightly. Also, right before that drop, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I would probably do a little bit of subtractive stuff. You could definitely keep the vocal right before the drop, but I might remove some of the other elements just so that it's a more dramatic kind of pause before going into that next drop section.
Come out, it's time to play. I'm at your door, I'm here to stay. Make sure the Lord can hear you pray.
Yeah, because it kind of just feels like it kind of just like rolls into that drop as opposed to like it being like a dramatic dive off, So yeah, I would say, kind of remove the snare roll, that riser. Just delete like the last, 2 to 4 bars. Definitely keep the vocal there, because it's a nice lead-in. But yeah, I would say remove most of the other elements right before you hit the 1 on the drop. So it's a little bit more dramatic, and it kind of pays off a little bit more drastically. All right, and then what else I got here? Yeah, an overall very solid arrangement. I wouldn't change anything with the arrangement. It's a decently sized track. Again, I love the sound design. Sound design's dope. Vocals dope. Beep boop 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 beep boop boop boop. That's the Ableton. That's the Ableton metronome. If you guys don't know. But yeah, overall dope tune. Good job, Spencer Arnold. Beep boop 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 beep boop boop boop. All right, we got Choli and then Tyrannosaurus Flex. All right, I'm gonna go pee real quick and then we'll dive into Choli's tune. Oh yeah, also the Dodgers are winning right now. Bottom of the ninth. 2-0. All right. Okay, we could talk shit now. Go ahead. By all means. Talk all the shit you would like, you know? All right. Let's dive into this tune here.
Woke up to the corner with my 45 tuck. Eyes wide open, I don't ride on luck. Woke up to the corner with my 45 tuck. 45 tuck. Woke up to the corner with my 45 tuck. Eyes wide open, I don't ride on luck. Woke up to the corner with my 45 tuck.
Dude, I was vibing hard. I wasn't even paying attention that it ended. Yeah, this is a super cool idea. I really dig the vocal here. Vocal works really well. It's a really dope kind of mid-bass groove you got going on here too. I think the vocal and the bass work really well in tandem. Um, Let me just go into my notes here. I put that the mid bass groove is super dope, but it also is quite loud in the mix. I also think that in the intro and in your break sections, you could probably do with more filtering on the mid bass. You could probably cut out a little bit more of the low end. That way, when it actually hits in the drop, it'll you can go full force with it, and it'll really just smack. Because like I think you're giving away a little bit too much on that mid bass too early on, so you kind of need to just like tease it out a little bit more. Really cool vocal. One thing that I did note here is more of like a mixing thing. The low end gets quite muddy on the drop section, so obviously with your sub and with that mid bass, it starts to get a little bit too muddy on the low end. So just something to kind of be mindful for on that mix down is to kind of just clean that up so it has a little bit more clarity in the mix, especially on the low end. Really cool ear candies and bass fills. I like a lot of the transitions between the sections here. I think you did that really, really well. Overall super solid arrangement. This is kind of like a shorter track. I probably would have on this track. I probably would have added a little bit more of an intro, maybe only about eight more bars. Just to kind of tease in the vocal a little bit more before it starts going full force. Yeah, and I really like those chord stabs. You have like this kind of random chord stab in there, but it's a really cool addition in here. I think it just needs to kind of poke through the mix down a little bit more, maybe add a little bit of reverb so it kind of just like womp. It kind of just like pops through a little bit more, and has more depth. But yeah, I think overall this is a very solid tune. Most of it's just like mixing stuff, I think. I think the arrangement's very solid here. Just really just mostly cleanup stuff. And I think it's going to be good to go. Good job, Choli. Dope tune here. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, the chords, you have these chords both in the intro as well as like the breakdown too. Little pup. Those are cool chords. I think they just need more reverb. Maybe you could chop off a little bit more of the low end on those too. Only because it's like so low end heavy in this track. So I think the more you can get out of, say the vocal, you can cut out a little bit more low end on the vocal and those chords, and it'll give your mid bass and sub more space there in the spectrum, the frequency spectrum. But yeah, dope idea. All right. I believe this is going to be our last one unless Dare 80, Missed Call, or D-Gen end up showing up. So we have Tyrannosaurus Flex. Is Tyrannosaurus Flex still here? Tyrannosaurus Flex. Tyrannosaurus Flex. Bo. Oh, it looks like Tyrannosaurus Flex isn't here. Okay. Do we have any of these other guys? Missed Call, Dare 80, D-Gen? Doop. I think that's a no. So yeah, I think we're calling it quits tonight. These guys didn't show up, so can't give their tunes a listen. So yeah, guess I'm just gonna dive into some music stuff myself. Thanks to everybody who jumped in the stream today. And everybody who submitted tunes. I will be back again next Monday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday night and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you guys next week.